This is your gun, right?
That's right. I admit that.
And ballistics said this gun killed 2 people.
That's right. They should have done what they was told.
And there were 3 guys with you, right?
There wasn't nobody.
Don't lie to me. That's all right there.
Nobody.
Look, all we want to do is help you. Make it easier for you.
Talk. You know what's good for you. Talk. I don't want to make you talk.
Look, I'm telling you, we're trying to help you. Making it easier on you.
There were 3 guys. Bud Corsi, Frank DiGiotto, Bill Morgan.
Describe him.
Bud's maybe 45. Black hair, little gray, big in the chest, 5'10", 170.
DiGiotto.
Skinny, 6 foot, maybe 150. Blonde.
What about Morgan?
Was older, 55, gray, 165, 170.
What'd you do with the getaway car?
North Park, near the kids' playground.
Who was first in the cashier's cage?
I was.
What kind of gun did DiGiotto carry?
German Luger.
Where'd your partners go?
Bud went to Chicago, Frank went to St. Louis, and Bill went to Des Moines.
Why would you hang on to a hot gun?
I didn't want to maybe have to go out and buy another one.
Well, he's got his story down, letter perfect.
Now all we have to do is get him arrested.
What is this, Miss Lincoln?
I carry it for protection. A single girl walking around alone in a neighborhood like this?
'87 Squad, Detective Corella.
I'm sorry, Miss Laker, but Mr. Ramsey said you slugged and robbed him. He identified you. Take her.
Where to?
We're booking you.
I'm innocent. Look at me. I got friends downtown. I'll have you fixed. I'm gonna have you walking up and down in a tunnel. I'm a citizen. I got my rights. So you can think you are.
Fire. Pick up on 3. Would you repeat that, please?
Take my word for it. He's at 433 South 18th Street, apartment 3. Why don't you make yourself heroes picking him up? Me? I'm just a public spirited citizen. Figured it was my duty to be helpful.
Let's get out of here.
No, wait. I want to make sure they took our tip seriously. In 20 seconds, somebody ought to be coming out of that station house.
What do you think?
Well, I'm not generally sold on anonymous tips.
Neither am I. We gotta check it out anyway.
Well, you know, if the tip is on the up and up, you might get a reception. I better go along.
Jack, catch for me, will you?
You talking about the mess, but you ain't by the beat, though.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's a janitor, mister. I wanted to check on a leaky water pipe.
Oh, forget it. I'm sleeping now. Forget it. Who is it?
Ballistic says your gun killed the two men in the supermarket. Now, what'd you do with the rest of the money? 50,000 was stolen. There's only 10 grand here.
All I got is my split.
Oh, you got more than that, Greg. You got a name. Greg Provane. That's kind of an illustrious name. How about your buddies? They got names as famous as yours?
I didn't have no buddies.
Don't lie to me. You just said all you got was your split. Split with who? Now, come on, it'll be a lot easier if you open up, Greg. Why don't you be sensible, Provane? Why don't you let us help you, huh? Come on, try us. Do you want to make things easier for yourself?
Bud Corsi, Frank DiGiotto, Bill Morgan.
That was a real good strike, Greg. Really rang the bell this time.
That's right. That's right, I rang the bell, and I'll tell you, there was a lot of guys that was betting I couldn't make it.
Sure. Your old man will be proud of you.
Hey, he knew. My old man, he knew from way back. He knew I had it. Hey, give me a suit, huh?
What'd you do with the getaway car?
North Park. Near the kids' playground.
You ready to sign a confession?
Oh, you got me called. Sure, I'm gonna sign. What, I'm gonna fight with you? Sign it.
Tell me about the two guys you shot.
He should have done what I was told.
Send in a stenographer. How about your buddies? They old friends?
I knew them. Good guys. I mean, they were good to me. Smart. Are you kidding? Were they smart? Listen, the very first time they spotted me, they know what I was. They know I'm not a two-bit hood. You know what Corsi said to DiGiotto? He says, let's get the kid. Get him. He gonna got a guts. Get him. He'll help us. Are you kidding? I overheard the whole thing. He says, that kid, he's got no business, grabbing up at a liquor store, scuffling around for peanuts. Grab him, take him with us, blow him up.
You sure were scuffling, weren't you? You got a long record, Greg. All misses and no hits.
Well, right then didn't come along, you see. These guys, they give me my big break. Pull me up.
You don't look like such a big shot to me.
Take a look, will you? You got a job, you work for the city.
Yeah, your old man, now, he was a big shot, old Dan.
That's right. That's right, my old man was big. He was the biggest, and I'll tell you something. My old man, if he had a half a break right now, he'd have this whole town wrapped up. He'd be paying you off, the whole outfit, paying them off.
Yeah, you forgot one thing. The cops carry guns, too.
4 cops to get my old man. 4 of yous.
It only took 2 cops to get you. Let's start at the top, Greg. You just tell it in your own words.
My own words?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Oh, Bud, listen, that's Greg, not Dan. I don't want him to get him mixed up with the old man.
Oh, yeah. Greg Brovan,
Of course, he knocked off the Carter we used. You see, the whole job, that was all cased ahead of time before they dumped me in. You know what the jailer said to me when he brought me in?
What?
He said to me, he says, Greg, he says, you're not a candy store hood, we know that. He says, we like the way you handle yourself, you're like a pro. Well, anyway, we all got into the car around 11 o'clock, and we drove off to the manager's office, and I was the first one in.
Greg should be real happy we made him a big man. Like father, like son. A chip off the old block, that's our boy Greg. Boy, that confession.
Hey, the Yanks just went ahead by a run. Listen, I still don't believe that guy ain't gonna talk.
I don't care what you believe. The point is he believes he killed those 2 men.
Now, why would anybody want to believe something like that?
Look, I've been through this a dozen times with you 2 guys. Now, the thing with Brovane is he wants to believe more than anything in the world. He wants to believe he can pull that job.
Okay. Well, Brovane thinks he did it. But what about us, huh? You think he's gonna keep giving the cop 3 phony guys for us?
Why don't you keep eating? You make more sense with your mouth full. Brovane doesn't even remember us. He'll keep repeating exactly what I told him to say. When I hypnotize, they stay hypnotized. We don't even have to leave town.
It's kooky.
It's science. We planned the whole job right here. And we planned for Greg. Crime shouldn't pay. Somebody has to take the rap.
Okay. I appreciate the guy taking a rap for me. Maybe I can do something for him sometime.
You're laughing at the wrong joke.
Huh?
The best part of the whole thing is the cops are looking for 3 guys that don't even exist.
Sammy, you gotta stop.
But I like to give candy to kids.
I know, but you can't do it anymore.
It's the only thing I got left. Kids liking me and talking to me.
One of these times, Sammy, they won't call the police. Some guy who won't know that you just like kids is going to get excited.
It's kind of sad, ain't it?
Yeah, it is kind of sad. But some people will misunderstand no matter what we do. So you stop it. No more candy for kids. Okay, Sammy, you can go. Sammy?
Lemon drops. The kids still like them the best.
Tough being an old man.
Not so easy being a young one.
Oh, what's your problem?
Well, the Brevane case. I checked Chicago, St. Louis, Des Moines. They never even heard of the names Brevane gave us.
There were 2 witnesses to the holdup. What about them?
The 8th Precinct conducted the original investigation. They came up to right.
Well, somebody got to have seen those 2 guys, or at least heard the shots.
Well, shooting sort of discourages witnesses. They don't volunteer. Listen to this. A good heist is pulled. 2 men are killed. We pick up a guy on a tip with part of the money. He confesses. He names his accomplices. 3 guys. He gives us good, detailed descriptions of them. Only they're ghosts. Probably amateurs. There's no record. Come on, Meyer. It wasn't an amateur job. All right, so Greg Brevane is a genius. Yeah, that'll be the day, too. Greg Brevane has been a fumbler for the past 10 years. He's been picked up every time he sneezed. Look, the district attorney isn't complaining about the Brevane case, is he? No. All right, so what's bothering you? Well, the humidity, I guess. That and that handy anonymous phone tip.
Look, Steve, we got Brovane, the 87th got the credit. And we'll catch up with the other 3 guys.
Sooner or later they'll pop up. They always do.
Hey, where you going?
Well, on second thought, I'm going to help the popping up process.
What do you mean?
Well, I never did think the guys from the 8th Precinct knew how to get information from a witness.
Yeah, I heard the shots all right. I was draining the crankcase of this car, and the drain plug was chewed up. Wouldn't come loose. Then my wrench slips and cuts my hand. I begin to get sore. Finally, I work the drain plug loose. I look up, and the car's pulling away. Should have looked sooner, I guess. I read you got one of them guys, though.
Yeah. 1 down, 3 to go.
Yes, sir. You see, the doctor told me that I should take a little wine every day. It helps me digest. Without it, everything I eat sits right there. Just like lead, it sits there. The wine helps me digest.
I have to try it myself. I got the same problem.
Down there, the robbery. Oh, I was having terrible trouble digesting. I took 2 trips to the liquor store.
They said you heard the shots.
Yes, sir. And I knew what they were right away. From television. Some shows have better sounds than others. You take that Evans one. Well, they got great shots.
Yes, ma'am. I noticed that myself. Very, very authentic.
Yeah, just like life. Well, sir, I was coming from the store. I heard the shot. I saw the hold-up men okay. Yes, sir, I saw them. Clear as a bell.
Do you wear glasses?
Never in my whole life. I got 20/20 in both eyes. There's never been nothing wrong with me. I just don't digest so good.
Now, what these men look like?
Like businessmen. That's what hit me. Like businessmen coming from a conference. I know that from television.
What'd they do?
They got in the car and they rode away. One got behind the wheel, the other got beside him, and the other one was in the back.
3 men?
Did I say 3?
Well, that's what it adds up to. 2 in the front, 1 in the back.
I know. It could have been 4.
But you said 3.
Well, I wasn't counting. I was just talking.
Well, try counting now, huh?
Look, sir, my indigestion's coming back on me.
Now, look. Was this one of them?
Could be. Looks like a businessman, too.
Let's try it one more time. Do you remember 3 men or 4 men?
I told you what I remembered. It could be either.
Mrs. Turner, I'm trying to get a lead on these men. It's very important. Could you identify them if you saw them?
All I can tell you is I know whether a man's a businessman or a crook. Now, will that help you?
You're absolutely right, Mrs. Turner. You don't digest so good.
Mom, somebody's at the door. If that's another reporter, Peggy, I just can't talk to you. Another reporter, I'll take care of it.
Mrs. Brovine?
Who are you?
Well, I'm not a reporter. Detective Corella, 87th Precinct. I wonder if I could talk to you for a moment, please.
Okay. This is Mrs. Brovane, my mother. I'm Peggy Brovane. Mom, this is the police. Detective Corella. How do you do?
How do you do, Miss Brovine?
We thought it might be another reporter. You want to sit down?
Thanks, I'll stand. Reporter's been bothering you?
They were. Now it looks like it's the police.
No, this is just routine, Miss Brovine.
About Greg? Please, officer. Mom, I'll handle this. We've had trouble in this family. All our lives, one kind or another. For a while, we were able to live quietly. Nobody bothered us. Nobody was around to dig up the past. I don't feel any shame about the past or the present, because it has nothing to do with me. But my mother does, and I'm going to protect her.
I understand, Miss Brovane, and I sympathize, but...
Then what are you doing here?
Miss Brovane, your brother told us who his accomplices were. He named them. He gave us a full description of them, but we can't seem to locate them. I mean, we can't even find a record on them.
Any friend my brother ever made had a record.
These don't.
I can't believe my brother was going around with a better class of people.
We thought you might be able to help us, to give us some kind of a lead.
Greg left home when he was 18, Mr. Corella.
And nobody cried.
Stop it, Peggy. You make us sound like animals. Without any...
Mom, forgive me. Please, Mom. I'm sorry for him, too. Believe me, I'm sorry for him, too.
I'm sorry for Greg? Why?
Because his father was Dan Brovane. And Greg loved his father. It's a good thing to love somebody, Mr. Corella. The best thing. But Greg never had a chance. To start with, he's... Well, you know how he is. Please go away, Mr. Corella. All my mother and I want is to be left alone.
Then you don't know any of Greg's friends?
No. Once in a while, my son would call and...
I told him never to come here. We have a life of our own to live. Look at it now. It's a circus with reporters and photographers.
And the police.
All right. All right, Mr. Corella. If we can help you, we will. What are the names of the men that were with Greg?
Bud Corsi, Frank DeJardo, Bill Morgan.
I never heard of any of them. Wait. About a month ago, Greg met me as I was leaving the office. He needed some money. That's the only time I ever see him, when he needs money. He said he'd pay me back. He had met a new friend, someone who was going to give him a break.
No name.
No name.
Well, we tried. I know this has been unpleasant for you, and I hope we won't have to bother you again. How come you didn't get caught?
Being Dan Bravane's daughter?
Mm-hmm.
When I found out what he was, I hated him. But Greg, he wanted to be like him. And now he is, isn't he? Oh, Greg, you poor, dumb, unlucky kid.
see him? You see him? We'll have me about 5 front pages. Where did I get this picture? Look at that.
Well, lucky can you get him?
What do you mean lucky? Well, I did it, didn't I? That's more what you could say.
Yeah. Greg, when are you going to start playing ball with me?
What do you mean?
You're holding out on me, that's what I mean.
Oh, no. Thought I gave you everything.
Yeah, you're holding out on me. Look, 3 guys. You give me their names, their descriptions, and I keep coming up dry. So I gotta figure you're holding out on me.
That's not true. I gave you everything that I know.
I'm gonna shake it out of you, Greg.
Listen, what are you getting rough for? I ain't got nothing to tell
Get
you.
the picture in the paper. You think you're a real big man now, don't you? You know what I think? I think you're a sucker, Greg. A fall guy, a patsy.
Don't call me them names.
Those buddies
Nobody
ears. You're
calls
real fond of those buddies ears, aren't you?
That's right. That's right. They're the best,
Yeah,
those boys.
great friends, sure. Well, I'll tell you what I think they did. I think they sold you down the river. That's what I think.
Ah.
They served you up like a turkey, like a slab of white meat.
No,
They
that's
sold you
not true.
out, Greg.
Not true.
You know how we picked you up? You know how we picked you up? An anonymous phone tip. And I'll bet my money your buddy sent it in.
That's not true.
I'll give you odds they stooled on you and left you holding the bag, Greg.
Get out of your mind. That's not
Who
true.
else could it have been?
I don't know, but that's not true.
Who else could it have been, Greg? You're saving their necks. You're in here and they're out there. You're a sucker, Greg. They're not your buddies. They're rats.
Guys, get out of here.
Hey, you're gonna burn.
Listen, I
for
don't want
You're gonna
you
sit
here.
here and burn.
Get
for
out of
Big
here.
Mr. Lloyd.
Get out of here.
You're gonna be alive. Take out your Greg. How do you live, Greg? How do you live?
Get right there. Touch my own feet. Get out of here. Get right the hell out of here from you. Get right back. I always hate cops. Always. They ain't stole. Nobody stole my thing. Nobody. Now take that. Who are you yourself? They ain't stole me. Nobody stole.
Let me get this straight. You want the district attorney's office to postpone the grand jury hearing in the Brobane case?
Right.
Well, we can't just juggle a calendar around. We're jammed up as it is.
All right, you go ahead with what you got, Nate, and you're only gonna bat a single.
What do you mean?
All we've got's Brevane.
You mean you haven't got the others yet?
No.
Well, why not? You had the names, you had the descriptions.
Well, I didn't have their addresses, Nate.
So what do you guys do at that department? Play gin rummy?
Yeah, we're almost as good as you are.
All right, all right.
Oh, look, Nate, just give me a little more time. There's a chance you'll have them all. All I want to do is load the bases, bring everybody home.
Well, how are you going to do that, Coach?
Well, I got an idea.
Well, I admit it would look better to go into the grand jury room with a full team and not just Brevane.
Then we postpone.
All right. Game called on account of rain.
Thanks, Nate.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Borgman.
Mrs. Pender, how are you?
Well, just fine, thanks. I was just tidying up a little bit. Not that you and Mr. Boudreau and Mr. Tremaine need it. You're all so neat.
That's because it's like home to us here, Mrs. Pender, a real home.
Oh, that's what I want it to be, a home.
Got a surprise for you. Sit down. For you.
Mr. Borgman, you shouldn't have.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I mean, it's not good for me. I am trying to lose some weight, but... Ooh, nuts and jellies. My favorites.
Like you said, you want this to be a real home? I do the same thing for my mother.
I got as big as a house. But it was thoughtful of you.
Hey, Dolly, we're in trouble. Mrs. Pender, we have some business to talk over.
Oh, of course.
This is with our good wishes.
Oh, you're such wonderful boys, just like my sons.
Thank you, Mrs. Pender. Thank you.
Something's gone wrong, Tully. Go on, read it. They postponed the grand jury hearing. I told you that your gag about hypnotizing this punk to take the rap for us would backfire. I told you that the stupid punk would be nothing but trouble.
Shut up.
Look, let's get out of town.
Matty,
Yeah, Tully.
get over and find out what's going on. What's holding things up, why they're stalling. And you relax. Get off the panic button. The cops don't even know we exist. Okay. And remember, walk. Don't run to the nearest exit. Sometimes I wonder about you. Who's more stupid, Greg Brevane or you?
All right. So I'm a worrier.
Will you relax? We made a nice hit. We got good money. Play around. Don't come running in here shooting off your mouth.
Okay, Tully. But don't ask me not to worry. It's not natural.
Go ahead and eat. Just learn to shut up. With guys like you, silence is golden.
Polygraph, huh? Yeah. Yeah, he's holding something back. Maybe a lie detector test would prove it. Doesn't make sense. Gives us names, descriptions, we come up empty.
Well, maybe we're not as good as we think we are.
All right, we're pretty good. You want to do the polygraph now?
No. There's only one problem.
You gotta get Greg Bovaine's consent.
Yeah, the last time I talked to him, we had sort of a minor disagreement. So how do we swing him?
You want a tip?
Yeah, anything. What?
Greg Bovaine is off the front pages. He's out of the limelight. Now, publicity is our poison, but it's Greg Bovaine's meat.
You're a genius. Come on. Hello, Greg.
Hey, those my papers?
Yeah.
Let me see the papers.
Hold it,
Give me
hold
the
it. I
papers.
got some bad news for you, Greg.
What?
You're off the front page, sonny boy.
You faded. You had it. You're yesterday's news.
It's a big fat paper. Look in the back. You'll find it. There's a little item back there. Fill it.
What happened? What are they doing to me?
I guess they're through with you, Greg.
What was they? Listen, somebody's trying to stab me in the back. I killed 2 guys, didn't I?
Yeah, you killed 2 guys, and you're Dan Bovaine's boy, but he was on top how long? 5 years, 10 years? You? 5, 6 days.
Well, I guess some guys got it and some guys ain't. Guard!
Hey, wait a minute, come here. I'm all confused about this. I don't understand what's... Did you give him all the information?
I gave him everything,
Hey,
yeah.
look, pal, do me a favor. You know who's in back of this, don't you?
Wait
Help
a
me
minute,
out.
wait a
Give me
minute,
that.
wait a minute. What if we give him a polygraph test?
Might work.
What's that?
The polygraph test. It's a lie detector test.
Yeah, but I didn't tell no lies.
Well, maybe you forgot something. You get you back out in the newspapers.
Yeah, they cover you like a beauty queen. Greg Bovaine takes lie detector tests. You'd make all the front pages.
Sure.
All of them.
How long can I take it?
No.
All right, Greg, we're ready to start the questions. Just relax. Answer the questions as best you can. Is your name Greg Bovaine?
Yes.
Are you 31 years old?
Yes.
Is your mother's name Margaret?
Yes.
Did you leave the car used in the supermarket job in North Park?
Yes.
Were you the first one in the manager's office?
Yes.
Did Dejado carry a German Luger?
Yes.
Did Bud go to Chicago?
Yes.
Did Frank go to St. Louis?
Yes.
Did Bill go to Des Moines?
Yes. Hey, now listen. It's going to be the newspapers, right? I mean, the whole thing's going to be the headlines, right?
Sure, you're tomorrow's news, Greg.
Well, what are you brushing me off? That's what I wanted.
yes. You'll be in the papers.
Well, everything checks, Corellum. One point is clear. That young man is certainly truthful. Unusually truthful, I'd say. You see, most people generally show a little reaction from time to time as they hide things, change them.
You mean he was telling the truth? He wasn't holding back anything?
Well, according to the polygraph test I just gave him, I can only conclude he was hiding nothing. There's not a thing, not a single thing he's holding out. I believe the entire substance of his confession is true.
Well, thanks very much. Thanks for coming down here and putting yourself out.
My pleasure. You want to keep this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the DA may want to call you as an expert witness.
Right. Night.
Right, good night.
Well, now what?
No, nothing. Except I guess there must be a Bud Corsi, a Frank Dejado, and a Bill Moreland. I guess these 3 guys must really exist.
You know something about Greg Bovaine?
What about Greg Bovaine?
He's the most truthful hood we ever caught.
In the face of that, I guess this is where I give up.
Hey! Come right out. What's up?
It's gonna happen. It's morning and it's working.
What's working? What are you talking about?
They're sending Greg to the grand jury. It ain't been announced yet, but that's what they're doing.
Are you sure?
It'll be in the next edition of the papers. The cops are giving up. They're going to the post with what they've got.
One thing certain. We back to winner.
Yeah, named Greg Brovane. And you know who's riding? Ollie Borgman, the Jockey of the Year.
You, been here all night?
No, I just came in early to do some homework.
Homework? Oh, Greg Brovane.
Yeah, Greg Brovane. Meyer, look. Transcript number 1, the confession he made to us. Transcript number 2, the confession he made to the DA. Transcript number 3, the polygraph test. And they stink. They all stink.
But he's gone to the grand jury in 2 days on the basis of these confessions.
Meyer, I've been a cop for 15 years. I've never seen 3 confessions exactly alike. They're like confession by rote. The same words, not a detail change. It bugs me.
But the grand jury will buy it.
Well, I don't. These things aren't human. It's like a machine made them. Only certain unvarying facts will come out. It's not normal.
In other words, you feel that something is missing.
Well, I sure do. I wish I could figure a way to start breaking down this machine. 87th Squad, Detective Corella. Yeah. Yeah, sure. We'll be right over. Brovane, he's yelling his head off.
Get me Corella, get him down here. Get Corella down here. Hey, Corella, I'm here. Get down here. I'm going to talk to you later. There's nothing in the paper. What? So you promised me headlines. Where is it? There's nothing there. I looked through everything. There's nothing there. Corella, he tells me, if they get that stuff and shut, I get you in the newspaper. Well, Corella, you're a man. See, that Corella, he's alive, but that's all right. I'll fix him because I know something that he don't know. You see, that I'll get him.
He's gone crazy.
Corella, you're a rat. You hear me? Don't ever lie to me.
Maybe your machine is beginning to break down.
Let's get Doc Daniels down here. Maybe a psychiatrist can figure him out. Yeah.
Corella, where's it in the paper? What am I going to tell my old man? What am I going to tell him? I got to tell him.
Well, you boys quiet now. We can talk.
And did you read these confessions?
Yeah, they're fascinating. Sound like carbon copies of each other.
Yeah.
Still, your polygraph test showed him to be absolutely truthful.
Ben, look. It is unnatural for a man to make 3 confessions and not change one detail now, isn't it?
Yeah?
All right. Now, he described his accomplices to us very fully. He named them, and we can't even get a line on them. So what's the truth in this case?
That's what makes it fascinating.
Is there any way the polygraph can be wrong, Doc?
No, Meyer, not at the level of his conscious mind.
I'd hate to even consider Greg Bovain's subconscious.
Many men are more interesting at that level. Brovane could be telling the absolute truth at the conscious level. But at the subconscious level, it could all very well be a lie.
How would you tap his subconscious level?
Hypnotic drugs. Scopolamine, for one. Under such treatment, the real truth would come out if there is any.
One question, Ben.
Shoot.
What would make a man confess to 2 murders and a robbery and believe it to be a fact, even if there wasn't any truth at all in it?
Well, several things could do it. Drugs, old-fashioned brainwashing, psychological hallucination, and, of course, hypnosis.
That's what makes the real truth so hard to find.
It's a fact. One thing's sure, these things aren't any good to us anymore. Not after he blew his stack, no grand jury would even try him. Mentally unstable, so he gets clean away, and so does the truth. Ben, could you administer the scopolamine test? I'm getting interested in his subconscious.
I'd be delighted if you can get his consent.
Oh, he said yes to the polygraph.
That was one kettle of fish. This is another.
Don't look at me. He wouldn't do it for me. You'd rather see me dead first. Easy. Don't fall apart on me, Becky.
Just that I'm nervous, that's all.
You want to help us, don't you?
Yes, it's... I don't know how. I don't know what to do.
Just remember what Doc Daniels told you. Shortest distance between 2 people is love and kindness. Understand?
You know, all my life I've avoided the responsibility. I guess it's caught up with me at last.
Oh.
I am my brother's keeper.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you, Craig.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm fine. How's Mom?
She's okay.
Hey, want to sit down? Yeah, sit down. Yeah, so how's everything? Tell me, how's the job and everything?
We were worried about you, Greg.
Oh, don't worry about me, Peg. Everything's all right. They respect me. They know what I'm doing.
Mom was saying...
Oh, no. Tell Ma to relax. It's okay.
Greg, I'm worried about you.
I don't want you to worry. Listen, I'm worried about you. I'm your big brother. I am going to take care of you. I am, Peg. I'm going to take care of you. Remember when we was kids? Who used to take care of you? We used to watch over you, right? Remember when the guys used to come around and tease you? What did I used to say? I say, hey, come on. Hey, take a walk. Hey, my kid sister, I'm watching her. And I want your Boney with the red hair, what's his name, Jimmy? I had to give him a good rep that day because he wouldn't stop. That's one thing, boy, when we was kids, we had a good time.
Greg, I just don't believe you did it. I just don't believe you killed those two men.
I did it. Honest, I did it. I was a guy, I walked in there and I told the guy, look, just stay there and be quiet, you won't get hurt. Well, the guy wouldn't shut up and I gave it to him. And we got in the car and we drove off. Don't worry about that, I did it. What are you crying for? Don't cry.
Greg, I want you to do something for me.
I will, Peg. I'll do anything you want.
They want you to take a test.
Test? Well, I already took the test.
Greg, you've got to do it. You've got to do it for me.
I will. Okay, Peg. I will. I'll do it. Okay? I'll do it.
A7. A6. A5. A4. A3. A2. A1.
Greg? Greg? We're going to talk about the supermarket job. Tell us what happened.
Tully, he gave me,
Who's Tully?
Tully Bergman.
And what did Tully Borgman do?
He promised he'd make me be somebody. Make me be like my old man. He said make people recognize me.
Who pulled the supermarket job?
Tully, Matty, Clay.
Matty and Clay. What are their last names?
Clay, Woodrow, Matty Tremaine.
What did you have to do with the robbery, Greg?
Nothing. They just promised to help me be somebody. In return, I was hot, Tully, Pete.
He may not remember what they did to him. Greg, did you shoot the guards?
No, I wasn't there. They wouldn't trust me to come along. They just promised to help me.
Well, why did you confess to the robbery?
I didn't confess. No confession.
Greg, did you ever kill anyone?
No.
Describe Tully.
Nice guy. Smart. A lot of ideas.
I mean, describe him physically. What does he look like?
38, maybe. Short. Black hair. Nice guy. Ran things. Gonna help me.
Greg, where was the last place you saw Tully Borgman?
Hey, they're losing. The Yanks just went behind. They'll win. Champs always win. When the chips are down, you can put your money on the Yanks.
Clay, get it.
message for Bud Corsi, and he said...
It's for Bing. They let him go. I told you lousy guy, good work. I pitch and I fancy to let him go. Grab him! Hey, what are you doing here? It's the cops!
Well, thanks for helping us, Tolly. After all, he doesn't know who you are. He's still hypnotized.
You can come in now.
What do you say, Peg?
Hi, Greg.
Well, you can check him now, Steve.
Greg? Greg? How much money was taken in the supermarket robbery?
What robbery?
The supermarket robbery.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hypnosis can be reversed, Steve. That's what I've done. Wiped his mind clean.
Well, we're not going to press charges, Greg, so that's it. You can go.
Except for coming in twice a week for treatment, huh?
Let's go. Thanks, Mr. Crow.
Oh, don't forget, you did us a favor, too.
Come on.
Greg, good luck to you.
Well, psychiatric treatment may help him, Steve. Get the idea out of his head he's got to be a better hood than his father was. At least make him understand why he feels that way and how sick he is.
Well, Ben, that is a big help, because I'll tell you, we got our hands full with the guys who are trying to make it on their own without taking on the ones who are trying to top their fathers.
One of these days I'm going to have to put you through analysis. See if I can find out exactly why you have to be so sure on every one of your arrests.
Well, that's not so tough. Now, Ben, I have to be very sure about everything, because you see, my father wore both a belt and suspenders.